There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino Is the Name.
Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You're watching Casino Is the Name, and in this video, I wanted to talk to you guys about investing in yourself. So most of the videos I do on this channel come from a real place. Like, they come from a real conversation or some things that I was doing or something that I saw that inspired me to do something. And so this video was actually inspired by a conversation I had with my sister. So I always say invest in yourself. That's mainly why when people ask me about stocks, I tell them I'm not really investing in stocks right now. I am investing in myself. Now, do I have money in stocks? Yeah, I got about 45,000 or so in stocks. And I know some people say it should be higher. Some people say, oh man, that's a lot of money in stocks. But I got about 45,000 in stocks. Not something that I'm looking to touch, or it's in a mutual fund. So it's not like something that I'm looking to touch or to utilize anytime soon. That money's just there and it's just kind of doing whatever. But when you invest in stocks, what you're doing is you're investing in someone else's business. When you're buying Google stock, you're investing in the ideal or the business that somebody else created. And that can be a very good idea, especially if you don't have anything else going on. But your highest rate of return is not going to come from you investing in, say, Google or Apple or any of those companies, because you're not, one, a CEO, a COO, or CFO of those companies. Maybe you have a lot of money invested, but, and of course, maybe you don't have anything else going on. So let's say you don't have anything else going on, and that's great. But me, with all the different things that I have going on, I would rather invest in myself. I'm going to see the greatest return on my money from myself. Let me give you an example. All right, so let's say you had $1,000. Let's say you had $100, okay? You had $100 to invest. You invest $100 into a mutual fund or some kind of stock, and let's say that stock gives you let's say it gives you a 20% return. And 20% return is actually a great return on stock. That's crazy, honestly. Okay, most people try to average about 10 to 12% per year. But if you get a 20% return on $100, that is $20. I want to try and use it the most simple way to like kind of help other people understand these different numbers, right? So when you see a 20% return on $100, it's $20. 20% of $100 is $20. That's pretty much the simplest form. So even if you're using $1,000, 20% of $1,000 is $200, okay? So if you wait all year to average out about $100, well, about $20 on $100, that's what a return on 20% on $100. So now let's say you take that same $100 and you put that $100 into something that is going to earn you 3 times whatever that is. Well, let's just say you double, right? That is 100% return on your money. So you put up $100 and you made a profit of $100. So you made $200 versus you put $100 in and you make $120, made a $20 profit. So that's the difference. Let me go back, because I don't want nobody confused what I'm saying. You put $100 in with stocks and you got a 20% return. And so now that $20 that you just earned on top of the 100, now your principal is $120 versus $100. Now, there's of course some compound interest and things like that that we can take into account, but when we're dealing with really, really low numbers, it's not really even gonna really matter. But now, when we're looking at, say, 100% return on $100, more than likely that's gonna be you. That's gonna be you. Now, let me give you an example. I started a business, and with that business, I think I probably started that business with about $2,500, right? Now that business has generated, let's say, I know over $250,000. right? That business that I started with, $2,500. Now there's still, of course, some carrying costs and things like that, but that money that I earned, it pretty much paid for those carrying costs. Now let's say the profit, the total profit on what I would be expecting to get from that business in a year is maybe $150,000, but I started with $2,500. Now we're talking about net. We're talking about after everything is paid, carrying costs and everything. I'm probably going to make about $150,000 from that particular business, right? So with me looking at it and saying I put $2,500 in, imagine if I put $2,500 in stocks and I had a crazy return and I got an actual 100% return on my money, which is crazy, right? That would be, my principal would go from $2,500 to $5,000 because I would have made $2,500 versus me in control of my own company, own business, and I'm able to generate from going from $2,500 to $150,000 net. That's not even gross, right? That's not even including the things that I purchased along the way with the money that I was generating that allowed me to have more assets that's part of my business, right? So, and then this is another business, right? Another business I might have started with no money. Let's say $1,000. I started another business with $1,000, and that business might have generated $50,000 from $1,000, right? So you see that there's a huge difference from me taking money, because if I put, let's say I got 45,000 or so in stocks, I'm not generating very much. I might generate, let's just say if I got, let's just say I got a 20% return on that, which I didn't, okay? Let's just say I got a 20% return. So 10% of 45,000 is 4,500. Times 2 would be 20%. 10% times 2 is 20%. So 4,500 times 2, that'll be 9,000. Now there might be a little bit of compound, but let's say the total, including the compound, is 20%. It's 9,000. It's not the same. And look at how much money I put in. So let's just look at it like this. If I put in, let me go to this number. All right, so let's say I put in $1,000. Like I said, I had one business, I put in $1,000 and it's generated, or it netted like 50,000, right? So now if I put up, so if I said 50,000, right? I'm just doing these numbers for you. 50,000, and then you divide that by 1,000, right? It's 50. So now multiply 50 times 45,000, because if I instead took that 45,000 and I invested that 45,000 in my own business, and you multiply that by 50, that would have been 2.25 million. What, 2,250,000. All right. So that would have been from that same 45,000. Instead, even at 20% return, which I didn't even get, I would have generated $9,000. So if I subtract 9,000, that is the difference of $2,241,000. So this is why I always say invest in yourself. And how I settled on this, me and my sister even got on this conversation, is because we're both getting ready to remodel some houses that we already have. And so it actually makes sense to even pull the money out of stocks to put into to put into your own real estate, or pull money out of your retirement account if you don't need the retirement account, if you don't need it, right? Which we're in a different kind of situation, because I can't explain it, but we just won't really need those retirement accounts like 401ks and stuff like that, just for our personal situation. But I mean, if you have any extra income, I would invest in myself, or would suggest you do the same. And investing in yourself doesn't necessarily mean that you have to even start a business, doesn't necessarily mean that you have to invest in real estate or buying a house or invest in a rental property. It doesn't mean that. It's so many different ways that you can invest in yourself. One way could be through education. Okay, so maybe taking a course that allow you to generate more money. Let's say you're trying to put $1,000 up in stocks. When there's $1,000 course that'll certify you to be able to generate $100 an hour $200 an hour or $5,000 a week. There's certifications that you might be able to get, but you won't go get them. Instead, you're trying to invest, you're considering investing in the stock, the real investment, but you won't look at putting the money into a certification or going to school for something that'll allow you to generate more money. Let's say you spent $25,000 in student loans to get an associate's degree, but that associate's degree in nursing or whatever can generate you $85,000 a year. That is, see what I'm saying? Like, the training itself is beneficial. If you read a book, if you know, all these people have ebooks, including myself. They have ebooks and courses and things like that. But if those ebooks and courses can teach you something, let's say you spent $10, that's investing in yourself. You spent $5,000, that's investing in yourself. And then it allows you to go out and make $20,000, $50,000, $100,000. That is going to bring you a higher rate of return in that stock. Now, if you're somebody who's sedentary, you just want to go to work, and you want to put money away for retirement, and you don't ever plan on being a person who's out here trying to buy 5 and 6 houses, you're not trying to build a business, you just want to work, put your money away. It's quote unquote safe in its own way, which is not true. It's not really safe. It's a gamble still, but it's a safe bet. You just put the money in the stock and just let the money sit while you go work, and you just live your life that way. Then stocks and things like that, mutual funds, will be a great option for you. I only use stocks to reduce my taxable income personally. That's all I really use it for. The compound interest can be great. Now, like I said, if you're not somebody who's an active investor or out here trying to build businesses like I am, then stocks is a great option for you. Stocks, real estate, things like that is a great option for you. Real estate is good in general. I mean, like I said, a retirement account, a 401k, you need that to reduce your taxable income anyway. Fund that. Life insurance, fund that. But when it comes to people like me, stocks just to be considered an investment, I mean, I don't even want to say just like for people like me, because, yeah, I guess there's just some people who don't want to do anything. But, for the mass majority, well, I'm going to say that, because the mass majority of people probably don't want to build a business, and they probably, or not really, not seriously. It sounds good, but a lot of people just want to get a job, work, and enjoy their life, right? So, but for people who are like me, like-minded individuals like myself, you probably don't want to be investing a lot of money in stocks unless you're trying to be a trader, or like you want to be a day trader or something like that, or whatever that is, options trader. Unless you want to do something like that, like I wouldn't suggest you just going into stocks just to be going into stocks, or just to be putting money in stocks, unless you don't have anything else that you could be investing in yourself with. But I guess the mass majority, stocks is probably a good option. 401k, mutual funds, that's a good option to reduce taxable income. And also, if you don't have anything else that you aspire to do. So anyway, I still would suggest, though, investing in yourself if you're like me. Anyway, right now you're watching Casino Is the Name. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we out.
I was always focused on the money. I started with nothing. I was born to be an entrepreneur. I'm a real estate investor. Had my own trucking authority. Multiple college degrees. Ex-military. I'm an author. Motivational speaker. Not to mention I'm an accountant. But with all the things that I've done, it was government contracts that truly made me rich. Yo, what's going on right now? You're watching Casino Is the Name, and if you wanted to know how I started my trucking business, I have an ebook called Big Shot, Hot Shot Volume 1, Own Your Trucking Authority. It's a great book, 5-star reviews. The link will be in the description below. Go get that. Yeah.
Beat me up, Scotty.
Me and her together, we just count it up. Money on my mind, I can't get enough. Don't play with my money, you don't want no beef. Cause I come from the bottom, I come from the street. When she first saw me, she said, who is that? When a man saw me, he called me a threat. I'm the one that really live with a rap. They ain't never did it, they ain't really trap. You say you want to be successful, but what's stopping you? Can't nothing stop you from being successful except for you. You standing in your own way.
I came from the bottom. I ain't know nothing but the grind. You can't tell me nothing about that. I caught the bus at Basin Street Projects in Tallahassee, Florida. You hear me? I used to think $1 million would last me my whole life. I'd have made that and spent that. $1 million ain't enough. There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the name.